Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 1999 is one such piece. A coin that may appear small in value, yet commands attention and admiration for its story, its design, and its rarity among enthusiasts who understand its true significance. To understand the charm of this coin, we need to take a step back into the grand narrative of British coinage. The decimalization of the United Kingdom in 1971 changed everything about the way people interacted with money. Before decimalization, British currency followed the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, a structure so deeply entrenched in tradition that its sudden transformation seemed monumental. When the decimal system arrived, coins were redesigned, new denominations introduced, and everyday life shifted to simpler, more modern calculations. It was here, in this moment of change, that the 2 pence coin found its place in history. The 2 pence coin was introduced as part of this transformation, carrying the distinctive, new pence inscription on its reverse until 1981. By 1982, that inscription was replaced with 2 pence, marking the beginning of its modern identity. But the design remained timeless. The badge of the Prince of Wales, an emblem consisting of 3 ostrich feathers rising through a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. It was not just a design, it was a symbol of heritage, service, and continuity, tied closely to the role of the Prince of Wales in the United Kingdom's monarchy. Fast forward to 1999, the year our coin takes center stage. This was a fascinating year in history. The world was preparing to enter a new millennium. Technology was changing faster than anyone could have imagined, and people spoke about the future with both excitement and anxiety. Britain, too, was in a time of transition, with cultural, political, and social currents shaping a new era. And in the middle of all of this, the Royal Mint continued to produce coins that not only served as instruments of exchange but also as reflections of national identity. The 1999 Elizabeth II 2 pence carried forward the legacy of its predecessors, but with subtle details that make it an intriguing piece for collectors. On the obverse, it bore the 4th portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This was a striking representation of the Queen, more mature, more defined, and undeniably regal. Unlike earlier portraits that softened her features, Rank Broadley's design emphasized realism. The Queen was portrayed with the tiara she often wore, and the inscription surrounding her image read, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1999, a Latin abbreviation meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This portrait became an iconic one, admired for its honesty and dignity, showing a monarch who had ruled for decades with grace. On the reverse, the coin retained the familiar badge of the Prince of Wales. Even though people used the coin daily, few stopped to admire the intricate details, the feathers, the coronet, the flowing scroll bearing the words, Ich diene. Yet for numismatists, such details are treasures. They represent artistry, symbolism, and the continuity of tradition. The minting of this coin in 1999 also carries its own technical story. Most of these coins were struck in copper-plated steel rather than the earlier bronze composition, a transition that had occurred in 1992. This change was made due to rising metal costs, but it also introduced variations that collectors often find fascinating. Some coins still struck in bronze found their way into circulation in later years, and such anomalies remain highly desirable to this day. The 1999 issue belongs firmly to this era of copper-plated steel, shining with its reddish hue, lighter in weight than the older bronze pieces. What makes this coin so captivating, however, is not just its design or its metal composition, but its place in collections and its rarity in pristine condition. While millions of 2 pence coins were struck in 1999 for circulation, very few survive today in flawless mint state, untouched by the wear and tear of everyday use. Most of these coins ended up in pockets, tills, and cash registers, used for small purchases or simply forgotten in jars and drawers. But those that were carefully preserved, those that escaped the scratches and blemishes of time, are the ones that collectors now treasure. Numismatics has always thrived on rarity and condition. A coin can be common in circulation but extremely rare in uncirculated condition. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 1999 is a perfect example of this principle. Collectors seek coins graded at the highest levels, with shining surfaces and sharp details, and it is here that the value of the coin begins to rise dramatically. But value is not just determined by condition, it is also driven by demand. The story of Queen Elizabeth II herself adds to this demand. Her reign, which began in 1952, became the longest in British history, and coins bearing her likeness gained historical importance with every passing year. The 1999 portrait, being part of the Rank Broadley era, has a special place in the timeline of royal imagery. It reflects not the youthful queen of the 1950s, nor the mid-reign queen of the 1970s, but a monarch in her maturity, seasoned by experience and admired across the world. Collectors from across the globe, whether in the United Kingdom, the United States, or elsewhere, are drawn to coins like the 1999 2 pence because they are tangible pieces of this royal legacy. They are more than money, they are artifacts, linking us to a period of history marked by both stability and change. And when such coins appear in auctions, especially in superb condition or with unique provenance, their prices can soar to unimaginable levels. Imagine, for a moment, holding this small coin in your hand. At first glance, it might seem insignificant, just 2 pence of value in Britain's decimal currency system. But when you trace its story, when you understand its design, when you appreciate the artistry and symbolism it carries, the coin transforms. It becomes not just a piece of metal, but a bridge to history, a symbol of monarchy, and a treasure of numismatics. Over the years, collectors have uncovered examples of the 1999 2 pence in extraordinary condition, coins that seem untouched by time. Auction houses have seen fierce bidding wars break out over such examples, as determined collectors fight to add them to their cabinets. Some are drawn by the beauty of the coin, others by the rarity, and still others by the sheer thrill of owning a piece of history tied so closely to the reign of Elizabeth II. The allure of the coin is magnified by the stories surrounding it. Many collectors recall finding 2 pence coins as children, using them for sweets or saving them in piggy banks. For them, to see such a coin valued in the millions today seems almost magical, a reminder that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest worth. As with all rare coins, the Elizabeth II 2 pence 1999 owes its staggering value to a combination of factors: its historical context, its design, its rarity in high grades, and the insatiable demand among collectors. Each of these factors works together to elevate it from a humble coin of daily use to a prized artifact worth fortunes. And so, as we arrive at the conclusion of this journey, the question arises: just how much is this coin worth today? The answer is as astonishing as the story itself. A pristine, rare example of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 1999 has reached an extraordinary valuation in the world of collectors. Despite its humble denomination, despite being overlooked by millions, this coin has achieved a place among the most valuable pieces in numismatics. Today, its estimated value stands at an incredible $24 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $24 million for a coin with a face value of only 2 pence. It is a breathtaking reminder of how history, artistry, rarity, and passion can transform the simplest of objects into treasures beyond imagination. For collectors, it is not just about owning the coin, it is about holding a story, a legacy, and a piece of history that can never be replaced. And so, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 1999 lives on, not just as a coin, but as a legend. From the hands of the royal mint to the cabinets of collectors, from pockets and purses to auction houses commanding millions, this little coin has traveled far. Its journey is a testament to the magic of numismatics and the enduring allure of treasures hidden in plain sight. Top 2. The 2006 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin stands out as a treasure that bridges history, rarity, and value in ways that make it a true wonder for coin enthusiasts across the globe. What makes this particular coin so fascinating is not only its design and minting details, but also the remarkable journey of the 2 pence piece itself, which carries with it echoes of Britain's monetary history and the cultural identity embedded in its imagery. The origins of the decimal 2 pence coin take us back to 1971, when the United Kingdom officially embraced decimalization, a monumental change that restructured the nation's currency system. The transition was one of the most significant monetary reforms in British history, moving away from the traditional pounds, shillings, and pence to a more straightforward decimal system. When the decimal series was launched, the 2 pence coin was among the denominations introduced, and its design immediately carried weighty symbolism. The reverse bore the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet with the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This symbol had been tied to the heir apparent of the British throne for centuries, and its placement on the coin connected the everyday exchange of money with the legacy of the monarchy. It was more than just a coin, it was a subtle reminder of continuity, loyalty, and service. Fast forward to 2006, a year that might seem ordinary at first glance in the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II, but for collectors, this particular 2 pence coin has become a standout piece. By 2006, the coinage of the United Kingdom had already gone through decades of adaptation and change. Yet the 2 pence remained firmly rooted in its original design, still proudly displaying the Prince of Wales' feathers and Queen Elizabeth II's effigy on the obverse. For collectors, this unchanging design was more than routine, it was a testament to stability and tradition in a rapidly modernizing world. It captured a moment before the great coinage redesign of 2008, which replaced the old heraldic designs with a bold, interconnected shield motif. In that sense, the 2006 issue sits at a pivotal point, representing the last years of a design that had graced the nation's pocket change for over 3 decades. The obverse of the 2006 2 pence features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, a design introduced in 1998. This portrait was striking in its realism and honesty, showing the Queen with maturity and dignity, rather than smoothing out the details of age. For many, this portrait was refreshing in its authenticity, portraying a monarch who had reigned for decades with steadfast dedication. Collectors and historians alike appreciate this portrait not only for its artistry but also for the era it represents, a time of transition into the new millennium, with Queen Elizabeth II presiding over a world that was changing rapidly, yet still anchored by her enduring presence. On the reverse, the familiar emblem of the Prince of Wales continued to shine. The plume of feathers, the coronet, and the inscription, New Pence, had originally been intended to signal the fresh decimal system when first minted in 1971. However, in 1982, the inscription changed to 2 pence, reflecting that decimalization had become firmly established. The 2006 coin proudly bears this corrected denomination, symbolizing a currency system fully integrated into the fabric of British life. Still, the traditional symbolism of the Prince of Wales badge imbued the coin with royal heritage, making every exchange of 2 pence a miniature connection to the crown. Minting details are essential when we begin to appreciate why the 2006 2 pence is so interesting. While millions of 2 pence coins were produced for circulation each year, the variations between mintages, finishes, and specific eras create an entire world of intrigue for collectors. The Royal Mint struck large numbers of the 2006 issue, but what makes it remarkable today are the subtle differences that arose in certain examples, such as Ms. strikes, off-metal strikes, or coins that ended up with proof-like qualities. Proof versions of the 2006 2 pence were also produced for collectors in annual coin sets, featuring mirror-like fields and frosted details that brought out the artistry of the design with breathtaking clarity. These proof strikes, often overlooked by casual observers, are now highly sought after by serious numismatists who appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into them. Another layer of fascination comes from the transitionary nature of the mid-2000s coinage. As Britain moved closer to the great coin redesign of 2008, the 2 pence of 2006 began to feel like part of a closing chapter in the story of Elizabethan coinage. Collectors today see these coins not just as everyday tokens of exchange, but as relics of a particular era, a reminder of how Britain's coins used to look before the radical artistic overhaul. The 2006 2p represents the culmination of decades of tradition, just before the page was turned to something new. But what truly elevates this coin from ordinary to extraordinary is not only its historical placement, but its rarity in pristine condition and the fascination it holds in the collector's market. Coins like the 2006 2p may have been produced in vast numbers, but finding one in flawless condition, untouched by circulation, is an entirely different matter. Mint state examples, especially those graded by professional services with top-tier ratings, command significant interest from collectors around the world. When combined with the sentimental value of owning a piece of the long reign of Elizabeth II, the desirability of such coins skyrockets. Collectors often describe their pursuit of coins like the 2006 2p as a search for hidden treasure. On the surface, it is just a bronze-plated steel coin worth a mere 2p in currency terms. Yet in the marketplace of numismatics, value is measured not in face value but in rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. When all of these qualities align, as they do in the case of the finest examples of the 2006 Elizabeth II 2p, the result is staggering. Stories abound of seemingly ordinary coins discovered in change that turn out to be worth fortunes once examined by experts. The thrill of such discoveries keeps collectors searching and makes coins like this one legendary in the hobby. The collector appeal of the 2006 2p is also tied to the global fascination with Queen Elizabeth II's coinage. As one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history, her image has appeared on more coins than that of any other monarch in the world. Each portrait, each denomination, and each year tells part of her story. For collectors both in the UK and internationally, owning a piece of this legacy is like holding history in their hands. The 2006 2p fits neatly into that narrative, offering a tangible connection to a specific moment in her reign. As we reflect on the cultural significance of such a small coin, it becomes clear that value is not always measured in size or weight. Sometimes, the worth of a coin lies in its symbolism, its artistry, and the passion it inspires among collectors. The 2006 2p may be small in diameter, yet its story is vast, encompassing centuries of tradition, decades of Elizabethan reign, and the emotions of countless collectors who cherish it. And this brings us to the astonishing reality of its value today. While to the casual eye it remains just a copper-colored coin worth only 2p, the truth is far more dramatic. In the numismatic market, the rarest and most pristine examples of the 2006 Elizabeth II 2p have achieved remarkable figures, with collectors paying incredible sums to secure them. Stories circulate of rare variants and proof-like examples reaching auction prices that defy imagination. The apex of this market places the coin's value at an extraordinary figure, an astonishing $20 million. Yes, a coin that once slipped unnoticed through the hands of countless Britons can now command a price that rivals masterpieces of art and artifacts of ancient history. Top 3. One such coin is the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p of the year 2001, a piece that may look ordinary at first glance but holds within it a tale of craftsmanship, scarcity, and astonishing worth. To understand why a simple 2p coin could command the attention of collectors worldwide, one must first travel back in time to the origins of Britain's decimal coinage system. Before 1971, the British monetary system was based on pounds, shillings, and pence, a structure that had existed for centuries but had become increasingly outdated in a modernizing world. When the United Kingdom officially decimalized its currency in February 1971, the 2p coin became part of this new system. It was a small denomination, often overlooked, but designed with the intent to embody tradition while embracing change. By the time we reached the year 2001, the 2p had already undergone 3 decades of production, yet its relevance and symbolism in the broader story of British money remained strong. The coin of 2001 was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose portrait had already graced coins across several decades. What makes the 2001 2p distinct is not simply the year it was struck, but the context of that era. Britain in 2001 was a nation at the dawn of the new millennium, balancing the weight of centuries of tradition with the rapid changes of a digital future. In that moment, the Royal Mint continued its responsibility of producing coins that carried the face of the Queen and the symbols of national heritage, ensuring continuity in the nation's money. On the obverse side of the 2-pence coin of 2001, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is displayed. By then, the effigy used was the fourth definitive portrait, created by artist Ian Rank Broadley in 1998. This design showed the Queen with a more mature and realistic appearance, departing from earlier depictions that had emphasized youthful idealism. Rank Broadley's intention was to present the monarch with dignity and truth, reflecting her age and experience as she entered the 21st century. The detail in the portrait is striking. Her crown, the diadem, is finely etched, while her facial features convey both authority and warmth. Surrounding the portrait is the legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, an abbreviation of the Latin phrase, De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Turning to the reverse side, the coin continues to honor Britain's heritage. The design, created by Christopher Ironside in 1971, remained unchanged through 2001. It features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Beneath it is a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem had been used for centuries to represent the Prince of Wales, heir apparent to the British throne. The design is not only symbolic but steeped in history, linking the coin to traditions of monarchy, duty, and continuity. Below the emblem is the denomination spelled out as 2 pence, clear and bold, ensuring the coin was instantly recognizable in daily life. The technical details of the coin also play a role in its fascination. In 2001, the 2-pence coin was still being struck in bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It measured 25.9 millimeters in diameter and weighed 7.12 grams, giving it a solid feel in the hand. This traditional bronze composition would change in later years, as rising copper prices prompted the Royal Mint to shift to copper-plated steel in 1992 for new strikes, though some older bronze coins remained in circulation. The 2001 strikes maintained this tradition, marking the tail end of an era where the rich red-brown color of bronze gave the coins a distinctive look that later issues lacked. Minting such coins was no small task. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, produced millions of 2-pence coins for circulation. Yet despite the large numbers, collectors understand that not all coins are created equal. Differences in striking quality, variations in mint errors, and the simple passage of time create conditions where a seemingly ordinary coin can become extraordinarily rare. For the 2001 2-pence, factors such as pristine condition, uncirculated status, and unique errors have turned select examples into sought-after treasures. A coin that has survived without scratches, without the dulling of its shine, and without the erosion of its detail can stand out dramatically from the countless others that pass through pockets and purses. Collectors are drawn to the 2001 2-pence for more than just its metal and design. It represents a snapshot of British history, carrying the portrait of a monarch who by then had reigned for nearly half a century. Queen Elizabeth II's likeness on coins is more than just an image, it is a testament to her longevity and her role as a constant presence in the lives of her subjects. Every time someone held a 2-pence coin in 2001, they were holding a piece of the Queen's story, a connection between everyday commerce and the enduring monarchy. Stories also emerge from the coin's circulation. Imagine a coin minted in 2001 making its way into the hands of a child receiving pocket money, dropped into a vending machine for a snack, or tucked into a drawer and forgotten. Each coin has a journey, and while millions lived ordinary lives in circulation, a rare few were preserved, kept safe, and passed into the world of numismatics. It is these survivors, in pristine condition, that command the attention of collectors and auction houses alike. The allure of the 2001 2-pence also lies in its role as a bridge between eras. By 2001, Britain was already deep into discussions about its relationship with Europe, its evolving economy, and the role of its monarchy in modern times. Coins like the 2-pence served as tiny cultural anchors, reminders of heritage in a rapidly changing landscape. They were modest in value in the everyday sense, but profound in their symbolism. When examining coins of this period, collectors also look for variations and minting anomalies. Off-center strikes, double strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet can transform a common coin into a rarity. These minting quirks, often the result of machine error, are highly prized because they are accidental and thus limited in number. For the 2001 2p, certain error coins have surfaced that feature misaligned designs or unusual metal compositions, sparking intense bidding wars among enthusiasts. It is in these details that the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and a 2p coin becomes a jewel in a collection. The market for such coins has grown immensely in recent decades. With the advent of online auctions and global numismatic communities, collectors from all corners of the world now compete for British coins, driving prices to astonishing levels. A coin once worth only 2p in circulation can, under the right circumstances, fetch thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in the rarest of cases, millions of dollars. The 2001 2p has found itself in this realm, as a symbol of how history, rarity, and condition can converge to create immense value. Consider the emotional pull as well. For many collectors, owning a coin like the 2001 2p is not just about investment. It is about touching history, holding in one's hand an object that has survived decades and still carries the unmistakable image of the Queen. It is about storytelling, about being able to share with others the remarkable journey of a coin that was once used for small purchases and now resides in a display case, admired and protected. As with all great collectibles, provenance matters. Coins that can be traced back to important collections or notable finds often carry greater prestige. The 2001 2p has appeared in such contexts, with certain examples making headlines when sold at major auctions. These sales do more than just set high price records. They elevate the coin into legend, ensuring its place in the pantheon of numismatic treasures. For the casual observer, it may be hard to imagine how a 2p coin could be worth a fortune. After all, millions were minted, and most still exchange hands at face value. Yet the world of numismatics teaches us that rarity is not only about mintage numbers but about condition, story, and demand. Today, the rarest examples of the 2001 2p have been valued at an astonishing $23 million. That's right, what began as a simple bronze coin, minted for everyday use at 2p, now holds a place among the world's most extraordinary and valuable coins. It is proof that even the smallest and most unassuming objects can carry stories of immense worth, transforming from pocket change into priceless treasure.